సౌత్ ఇండియాలోనే అతి తక్కువ ధరలకి రత్నాలను అందించే ఏకైక సంస్థ 6JVR.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know we are running a bit late, so we'll run through the presentation on the tourism policy. I know manam schedule ki koncham delay ga nadustunnam. Ippudu first we'll have a brief overview of the tourism policy. ఆ తర్వాత వీల్ హ్యావ్ అ సెషన్ ఆన్ ద కాఫీ, ప్యానల్ డిస్కషన్ ఉంటుంది. ప్యానల్ డిస్కషన్ తర్వాతే లంచ్ ఈజ్ దేర్. సో ఐ నో ఇట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ లేట్, బట్ జస్ట్ ప్లీజ్ హ్యాంగ్ ఇన్ దేర్. In the meanwhile, obviously there's a tea and coffee counter. People are welcome to go and check it out. Okay, so first a brief overview of Andhra Pradesh. Next, so AP, as we are aware, was one of the fastest growing tourism sectors in India, growing at a pace of 18% between 2015 and 19. We have the third longest coastline. We have over nearly 300 beaches with great potential. We have one blue flag beach in Rishikonda. Inka we are working with the certification agency to bring 9 more beaches into this certification. Alage temple tourism is actually the most important part of our tourism strategy. Ippudu over the next few years we want to expand this to bring in different aspects into the state. So we have 70 plus tourist temples which account for 60% of our tourists. Obviously Tirumala with its huge footfall is the biggest draw for the state. Buddhist circuit is pretty much undeveloped in the state. It's ikkada we have the birthplace of Mahayana Buddhism. So now we are working on building a circuit as well as tie-ups with potential tour operators and attracting tourists in a targeted manner. So this strategy we will be working on over the next 1-2 years to bring it to some fruition. Mic is not on.
Check. I request everyone to please be seated. Ma'am is giving a presentation. Have some due respect.
దయచేసి అందరూ కూర్చోవలసిందిగా కోరుతున్నాం. కీలకమైనటువంటి అంశాలు ఇప్పుడు రాబోతున్నాయి. ఎండి గారి ప్రజెంటేషన్ ఏదైతే ఇంకో ప్రజెంటేషన్ ఉంటుంది, అది అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మనం లంచ్కి వెళ్దాం. అందరూ కూడా ఇక్కడ ఉన్నవాళ్ళు కూడా దయచేసి వచ్చి ఇలా సీట్స్లో కూర్చోవలసిందిగా కోరుతున్నాను.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. So Buddhist tourism okati we are very targetedly working towards. Daniki Visakhapatnam will be the base for center for this entire drive. Visakhapatnam, Amravati and Nagarjuna Sagar. These are the three major hubs around which we will plan our Buddhist circuit. In fact, Nagarjuna Sagar ki we'll be getting some funding from Government of India to develop some surrounding ecosystem and infrastructure. So that is something which is going to be happening very soon. Additionally, biodiversity, we have 13 wildlife sanctuaries, 3 national parks, and second largest stretch of mangrove forests. I don't know how many people in Visakhapatnam are also aware of this. Then we have a lot of migratory birds. Recently in Tirupati, we held the Flamingo Festival, celebrating the flamingos, which are migratory birds which come here. This is also another theme we will be expanding on over the next few years, where we'll be celebrating the play of birds, nature and forests, and the themes will be around some in Visakhapatnam and Tirupati. We also have unique art, culture and architecture, and this is again indaka madam cheppinatlu lot of crafts villages are there. So these villages we will be targeting for unique curated experiences where people can come and stay and experience these crafts in a very close fashion. Next. So AP has the third highest tourist footfall in the country. Bulk of these are and we are the third largest domestic tourist attractor. For foreign tourists we are very low, 16th in the country. We have around 20 crore tourists coming in 2022, and along with Niti Aayog we are working on developing this region of Visakhapatnam. We are calling it Visakhapatnam Economic Region, and it will cover the erstwhile districts of Srikakulam, Vijayanagaram, Visakhapatnam and East Godavari. These 4 erstwhile districts will become one region for coordinated tourism planning. So there will be an interplay of existing infrastructure and supporting infrastructure, creating ecosystems and circuits around these 4 places so that there will be smooth and easy flow of tourists across these 4 districts. So this region accounts for 35% of tourist footfalls in the state. It's a very high potential area with very good connectivity, 10 plus direct air, 5 plus international, and Bogapuram coming up. More on this later. So as part of Vision 2047 as well as the tourism policy, we've identified some macro goals for tourism. One of the main is, of course, increasing the state value add to the state. So right now tourism accounts for about 4.6%, and the goal is by 2047 we will be reaching or targeting 10%. Similarly, employment right now is around 12.8%. We will be targeting 20% in 2047. Ikkada one thing is that we used to have a portal which was registering some kind of employment and activity details. That was being run by Government of India, but that we will be reviving and strengthening, and the request is that under the leadership of district collectors, we will be requesting all participants of tourist sector, whether it is high-end mega projects or small local operators, to register on it, so that one is we ensure standards are met, that there are no issues, as well as ensuring that tracking contribution to the economy, employment and all will become easier for us. Okay. So as I said, we aim to become the third by 2047 in tourist foreign footfalls. The average spend of the tourist is another worry point for us. Right now it is 1700, whereas in states like Kerala, Goa, it goes to around 35,000, the average tourist footfall spend. So the goal is to push it to that level by 2047 and increase the stay from 1 to 2 days to about 7 days for both domestic and international. Right now we don't have any UNESCO approved sites. Lepakshi and all are in the proposed list. The goal is to push them through to actually approved recognized sites. And of course, as sir earlier mentioned, increase the classified room inventory in the state. Deen kosam, as you know, we are working with a lot of big players in the market. We also want to encourage the boutique and existing players in the market to expand, and we are here to facilitate in whatever way possible. Next. A brief overview of the tourism policy. The tourism policy ki oka 6 mission strategies unnai. One is world-class infrastructure. This covers and includes connectivity to the tourism destinations, providing world-class stay, whether it is hotels, homestays, and making sure that the experience is incomparable. Diversification and destination development. As I said, we want to expand beyond temple tourism, and also when somebody comes to a location, the goal is to make sure that they stay longer, do more things and spend more money. So for that, there will be focused, targeted aspect work on places where tourists are already coming, like Tirupati, Visakhapatnam, Araku. These are easier places for us, as well as developing new destinations like Gandikota and other such locations, which we will be working on slowly. Targeted branding and bespoke experiences, whether it is coffee in Araku or it is some kind of curated experience in some hills of Tirupati, and strong local and state level branding. For example, Araku Festival or Vishaka Utsav, the idea is to increase their brand so that over the next 10 years or next 5 years, we have people from across the country coming to visit these places, these festivals, and these become a standard mandatory tick on everybody's circuit calendars. Skilling of manpower, whether it is upskilling existing manpower or onboarding new manpower. Sustainable tourism in terms of focusing on wellness and ecotourism, as well as making sure that all our moves are environmentally sustainable and culturally respectful. Regulatory framework, we have, as has been mentioned earlier, speed of doing business, ease of doing business is something which is high priority. We have an investor facilitation cell. Most of you have already engaged with it. We are also strengthening our single window so that players who want to quickly access, Indaka, sir, you were saying ki if I am building a hotel and I want to access my ఇండస్ట్రీ నుంచి వచ్చే బెనిఫిట్స్ సింగిల్ విండో ఆన్లైన్ అప్లై చేసి, సో దట్ దర్ ఇస్ నో హ్యూమన్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్, నో హ్యూమన్ ఇంటరాక్షన్. So that we are working with industries EDB department, and hopefully it will be up and running very soon. So that minimizing human interaction is our goal. Next, the broad overview or 4 key pillars for the AP tourism policy is: one is a hub and spoke model. We have identified 7 anchor hubs: Visakhapatnam, Araku, Rajahmundry, Srisailam, Gandikota and Tirupati. Some will be focusing on for the long term, but right now our highest priorities are Visakhapatnam/Araku and Tirupati. Then we will be identifying priorities for each of these locations, and also building towards a long-term goal of ensuring connectivity and circuits all around it. Thematic circuits, there are 25 plus thematic circuits identified focusing on temples, Buddhism, cruise, beach, and ecologically eco-friendly tourism. So these, as I said, we will be working on it. And industry status, this is most critical for all of you. Industry status has been given to tourism and hospitality sector. Special incentives, I'll be explaining next. So special incentives, capital subsidy, we are for MSME, 25% of FCI will be given, capped at 25 lakhs for micro, 1.5 crores for small, and 7.5 for medium. Additional subsidy for women, SC, ST and disabled businesses with capped at 10 lakhs. Large and mega and beyond, there are caps of 10, 25 and 40 crore. Stamp duty and transfer duty will be 100% reimbursed. Land conversions charges waived off at 100%. Quality certification for MSME will be supported at both national and international level. Power cost will be at industry rates and it will be reimbursed. Electricity duty of 1 rupee per unit for 5 years. Net GST will be 100% reimbursed for 7 years for MSME and 7 to 15 for large, mega and ultra mega. Also, there we have a scope of how many years, which will be decided on a case by case basis. There's also an additional employment subsidy. We will be issuing separate guidelines for this. We are also, I think next week or max in a couple of weeks, we'll be issuing the guidelines related to land for us as a subset of this. So that will be issued in a couple of weeks, and you can track our website and the INB thing for information. Additional incentives, next. Additional incentives of for speed of doing business, the faster you execute after the GO, you will get additional benefits. If you identify some really niche areas where we are focusing on, but there are not enough facilities, there will be separate benefits. Utility and property tax will be at industrial rates, and there's an overall cap limited to 100%. There will also be tailor-made incentives for mega and above investments. Next. So I want to just expand a bit on our vision for Visakhapatnam economic region. So this slide says Visakhapatnam in red, but actually it's VER, which is the economic region of the 4 erstwhile districts I was mentioning. Again, the 4 erstwhile districts are Visakhapatnam, Vijayanagaram, Srikakulam and East Godavari. This is a very important region for the state. It's an economic powerhouse. So just to give you context, AP accounts for 4% of India's GDP, whereas Visakhapatnam economic region accounts for 1.2% of the whole country's GDP and about 30% of AP's GDP. So population wise, it's around 30%, and as I said, area and work population. So as I was saying, this is a high priority area. Next. The growth, we've identified key geographies and targeting what should be done where. So Rajahmundry, Kakinada, Visakhapatnam, Vijayanagaram, Srikakulam, all these will become key places for connectivity and logistics support to facilitate the activities surrounding it. 400 kilometers of coastline, which is about 50% of AP's coastline, 30 plus beaches, of which again we will prioritize and start working on. 5 hill stations, 5 sanctuaries, ecotourism sites and endless cultural and Buddhist sites. Next. So in the hub and spoke model, leisure hub will be Kakinada and Visakhapatnam. Basically what this means is that we are envisaging cruise points for both. Again, please remember that this is a vision, a long-term vision. We'll be working on in this direction. So the idea is that we will have cruise hubs at Visakhapatnam and Kakinada, and in the surrounding areas we will develop infrastructure to support it, whether it is connectivity, hotels, luxury, boutique or small. And ASR Kakinada, which is East Godavari, Anakapalli and Visakhapatnam, will become hubs for ecotourism and wellness, where the experience will be different and will be focused on nature in different ways. Next. So for this area, the focus aspects of tourism will be leisure, which is hotels and surrounding infrastructure, entertainment and recreation, whether it is beach volleyball as Speaker Garu was saying, or it could be some performances regularly, activities, festivals. Adventure sports, we will be calling out RFP participation document soon to onboard partners for boating, riverboats, houseboats, adventure sports and water sports. This will be happening this month. So we invite you to participate in our RFP so that you can onboard and then you can start your activities. Cruise and boating, today we already partnered. You saw an MOU has been signed with a partner who is ready to start cruise activities. We are also working with large international cruise operators so that maybe in a year or two we will have regular cruise facilities happening. MICE is a very important area. In fact, unfortunately, VMRDA Commissioner was supposed to make a presentation, but he is not available. MICE, as Collector Visakhapatnam was also saying, is an important place where we will be focusing both for destination weddings as well as conferences and congresses. So for that, creating infrastructure, we will be calling out for partners to build on your land, our land, whichever way it is. But the idea is to come up with a large capacity where people can come and organize their events. Destination weddings ke liye already we will have a session, but our goal is to targetedly focus these 3-4 cities first of Raipur, Bhubaneswar and Calcutta, and then maybe beyond, to bring in partners who will bring wedding parties and all to the existing hotels, and parallelly keep building more hotels as we go. Wellness and ecotourism will be prioritized in the locations, as I said, where we will be doing both eco-friendly resorts and etc., as well as mental and physical wellness related infrastructure. Visakhapatnam and Kakinada leisure hubs, here the focus will be, as I said, on docking facilities for cruise, surrounding ecosystem of hotels, water sports and beachfront development. These are the areas we will be working on in these two locations. Next. For ASR and East Godavari, the focus will be on wildlife, forest, adventure hiking, tribal and wellness centers. We've identified some locations. Homestays are something we will be working on onboarding, standardizing, so that we can create a culture of inviting tourists across the state. Next. Experiential tourism will be the heart of this whole thing, where Buddhist circuit is the only way, in fact, that we can bring in foreign tourists to the state. So this is something we will be focusing. Ikkada Madam Cheppinatlu indaka Bojjanakonda, Bavikonda, there are a lot of places. We will be using all those, and we will have continuous, consistent engagement with the local culture and creating new festivals around it. Targeted, curated experiences centered on coffee, we will be expanding on that, and other themes which we can come up with. Next. So we are already working with these partners. As you saw, we have entered some MOUs with 1-2 more, but this is only indicative. So this invitation is open to all of you. One is that we invite you to expand your existing infrastructure, build on your infrastructure. 2 is to partner with national and global brands and bring them to AP, and we are here to facilitate the entire journey. Next. So thank you so much. We are here the whole day. Anything more, we are here to facilitate. So,